I watched the Donald Trump speech last night, and I saw the reports of his meeting with Nieto, president of Mexico. And in my mind, obviously, as well as a lot of other people's minds, you were looking at two different Donald Trumps. Now, the president of Mexico was an idiot because he should have never taken that meeting with this guy. And if he did, the only topic he needed to discuss, well, let me not say the only topic. The first topic he needed to discuss was that wall and who was going to pay for it. And when he didn't get consensus on that, he should have killed the goddamn meeting, okay? Because everything else was bullshit. And Trump basically was trying to get a photo op with himself appearing presidential, okay? Which is what he got, but by the time he got through with the backlash last night, he wasted it. Anyway, have the Hispanic supporters of Donald Trump finally woken up? Okay, because Trump has been dogging the Hispanics by dogging the Mexican illegal aliens since he started his run for the presidency. But a whole lot of Hispanics have basically closed their eyes to it, especially those Hispanics down in Florida. And there was a predominant group down there that may not consider themselves part of the group. But I got news for them. The Puerto Ricans are coming, and they are U.S. citizens. So when they come over from Puerto Rico, they have the right to vote. And they are coming in droves. So the power of the Cuban community down in Florida is being diminished. And my understanding is that particular community was predominantly pro-Trump, whereas the Puerto Rican community is predominantly pro-Clinton. So that particular power base is going to be diluted. Now, I don't know for how long, and I don't know for how much, but for this particular election, they are not going to be as strong as they have been in prior elections. Anyway, getting back to have the Hispanics finally seen the light. Well, apparently some have, because you have a bunch of Trump surrogates that have quit the Trump campaign after last night's speech, which was one heck of a speech, but it's the same speech that we have been hearing. No sense of that quote-unquote softening. And I'm going to be honest with you, I believe that Kellyanne Conway had no idea of what he was going to say. I don't think anybody had any idea of what he was going to say until after he came back. And once he came back from Mexico, hell, it was too late, because every last single one of them had been talking about moderations, and there weren't going to be any of these roundup gangs of law enforcement, etc. Well, Trump blew all of that out of the water last night. Anyway, I want you to hear what one of his main Hispanic surrogates had to say as far as the reason for him leaving. And I really wanted to see what AJ Delgado's got to say, because that lady has no clue.
To one of the several Republican Hispanic leaders who have resigned from Trump's team. Jacob Monti is a Houston-based immigration attorney until last night's speech. He served on Trump's National Hispanic Advisory Council. Mr. Monti, thank you for your time. Explain, first of all, precisely why you decided to resign.
Well, there was so much anticipation building up to this speech. We had met with him a week and a half ago. He appeared to be ready to announce a pro-business, compassionate Republican solution to the immigration problem. And boy, we listened attentively, and we were hoping for some glimmer of the Donald Trump that we met with a week and a half ago, but it never came. And the group that met with him in New York, we're all about law enforcement. We want the wall, we want more security, we think the immigrants should be vetted, but we also told him that we wanted a way to deal with the non-felons that are hardworking, that are contributing to our society, that are doing the jobs no one else wants to do in America. We thought he heard us. He was taking notes. There was back and forth. And he comes out with this speech that was essentially reciting the talking points from the FAIR and Numbers USA and Heritage Foundation, which are anti-growth, anti-population think tanks that believe that we have too many people here, and it was very, very disappointing. There was nothing pro-business in that speech last night. After I heard that, there was no way I could continue to be part of a prop apparatus for Mr. Trump. So I resigned, and it's a sad day because I am no fan of Hillary Clinton. I have serious doubts that she really wants to solve the immigration problem. I won't vote for her, but I certainly am not going to help Donald Trump.
So for whom will you vote?
Well, that's a dilemma facing a lot of Americans. We don't have a viable Republican on the GOP slot. Hillary Clinton is not tenable to me and to millions of others. So I'm suggesting that we leave that slot blank and we focus on down ballot viable Republican candidates. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm telling my friends to do as well.
I want to play just a piece of what you told MSNBC last week about how Trump got the country talking about immigration. Here's what you said.
I think he deserves kudos for having the country talk about immigration. We're closer now to immigration reform because Donald Trump has identified the security failures, and he's also gotten the right to discuss the fact that most of these people are good and they need to stay here. It's important to our economy. It's the humane thing to do.
Why do you think that Trump got it when it came to immigration?
Well, you know, after listening to the Sean Hannity town hall in Austin, Texas, I was so excited. I thought, boy, this is someone that can bring the hardliners to the table, that can actually get an immigration bill through Congress. And there was so much hope. There was hope yesterday when he went to Mexico. He looked like a president. He looked like somebody that was trying to solve the problem. But for him to turn and just disregard everything we talked about a week and a half ago and just recite the talking points from FAIR and Numbers USA, that was disappointing.
So Jacob, what do you think happened? Yeah, what do you think happened between the conversation that you had with Donald Trump last week and the speech we heard last night in Phoenix, Arizona? What do you think happened, or do you know perhaps what happened?
Look, I don't know for sure. One thought is that he listens to whoever talks to him last. A week and a half ago, Hispanic leaders were talking to him. He listened to us. And by the way, his polls went up after that. When he started talking reasonable, that's when his polls went up. I dare say his polls are going to take a big downturn after the truth gets out that there's nothing new there. So there's that possibility. The other possibility is that maybe he does not want to win. Maybe this is a media play, and I feel serious about that.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean that he may not want to win?
Well, you can usually count on someone's self-preservation instincts, the idea that they want to win. not only is this the right thing to do, but this is the only way he can win the White House. And that he didn't follow it suggests to me that maybe winning is not part of the game plan. Maybe this is part of a media play where he wants to create a media empire that will focus on the millions of nativists that believe that the country needs to control immigration. And if that's his play, it'll be good. And he'll have millions of followers, but he won't win the presidency. So those are the two possibilities that I see. But again, it's a sad day for America because our GOP candidate is not a GOP adherent. And
but Jacob, in all honesty,
on the other side.
In all honesty, before last night, I think a lot of folks suspected that, no? I mean, he was not a traditional GOP candidate in a host of ways. And now all of a sudden, you sound surprised when for the better part of the last year, you had a lot of folks saying precisely what you just said, that he can't be trusted, that you can't believe anything that comes out of his mouth, that he listens to the person who spoke to him last, and all of a sudden you seem stunned by this.
Well, look, I'm a soldier. I've always supported the Republican person at the top of the ticket, and I tried to look and see if there was maybe a real Republican there. I didn't see it last night, and boy, I tried to look at something that spoke to me as a Republican. There was nothing there. It was just populist propaganda, and I'm not going to be part of that.
Jacob Monti, Houston-based immigration attorney, and up until 12, 15 hours ago, he was on Trump's National Hispanic Advisory Council. Mr. Monti, thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Yeah, so this is what is the problem with a lot of these goddamn politicians and a lot of people that support them. They don't look at the actual person himself or herself. They look at the party and they look at the principal ideas of the party. Now, Donald Trump is no goddamn Republican. And to be honest with you, even though Clinton is a quote-unquote Democrat, she espouses, some of the same bullshit that some of these Republicans espouse as well. The difference between a Republican and a Democrat basically is that one is covert and the other one is overt. The Republicans come out and they don't make any bones about, where they want to go. And they tell you that. And the Democrats, they come out and they like to sugarcoat a lot of things. But Donald Trump, you strip all of the bullshit away, this guy's a racist. And this person now, I guess, understands that. And he understands that Donald Trump is not going to espouse or do anything that's going to be positive. That he really doesn't support Hispanics, and in my case, blacks, and in my grandmother's case, Native Americans. He doesn't espouse anything but himself. And I think what he said towards the end of this interview is that Donald Trump really doesn't want to win. Because if he did, he would just lie like a lot of these politicians do and stick to the lines that are going to pull in the most votes so that he can win. And then once he gets in, he would do pretty much, whatever he wanted to do. But in Donald Trump's case, he's basically pandering, great word, pandering, Mark Burns, pandering, to his voters, those people that are primarily America First, which that in itself is a racist type of term if you know the history of that particular phrase, America First. And so let's see if more Hispanics are going to wake up and realize that Trump is full of shit and they need to look at other options. And I'm not even saying that they need to look at Hillary Clinton, because to be honest with you, I am not a Hillary Clinton fan. I haven't been. I've done numerous videos on her history and Bill Clinton's history. Yeah, I threw Bill Clinton in there. And in my mind, the only real person that's in this race, and there's only four, is going to be Jill Stein. I have done some research on her, and she seems to be the most favorable for the people of America. Okay? We got a problem, folks, and this election is really going to be a turning point for America, in my opinion. And whichever one of these candidates gets chosen and elected into the presidency is going to have a dramatic effect, not just for the next 4 years, but probably for the next 20 to 25 years, because of their ability to nominate a Supreme Court justice, which is going to swing the court either conservative or progressive. I'm hoping for a progressive Supreme Court justice that's going to be able to hopefully right the ship as far as voting rights, affirmative action, also getting money out of politics, because that's really what's destroyed our political system. The ability for all of these millionaires and billionaires to pound money into these elections to get their particular points of view out there, and to basically have a major effect on the thoughts of the populace.